Hi, I'm Bob.
I'm Charles.
We're Ebeling Hughes.
I'm Charles Hughes.
I'm Bob Ebeling.
We were going to be the first band to ever play on the space station. Our band was called Space Station for a week, I think it was. We said when they colonize the moon and they put in one of those domes, you know, and they have like the big grand opening, Ebeling Hughes is going to play. It was that simple.
I was really into structure, odd time signatures, really kind of kooky stuff. And when I got out of school, I wanted to start a band and record stuff that was in like 13/8 and 9/4. And I was with my buddy Andy Gould, and he introduced me to this fellow, Charles Hughes.
Andy Gould was a mutual friend in a band, and it was we were at a show, and I said, I'm looking for a drummer. He goes, well, why don't you meet my friend Bob?
I just knew that this was something phenomenal that was the yin to my yang.
And we just kind of chatted about what we were looking for. It turns out that we liked and wanted the same thing.
Hey, how you doing, man? How you doing? Pumped up, all fired up.
Charles Hughes in the house.
He's all fired up, and he's got somewhere to go.
Technology creates its own genres, you know, techno. And you're looking at present classics, basically. There's going to be...
So those are timeless?
Like what you have right now is a
Sweet.
Classical, they call it classic alternative on the radio right now.
They are?
Yeah, that's actually, we've gotten to the point, where modern rock is now classic modern rock. You know, every genre has the classics, you know, that peek through and they stand the test of time. Excellent.
And we really kind of were doing it for ourselves. We were very selfish. I wanted things to come out in a recording because I couldn't find them. There wasn't any music like what I wanted, or I didn't know where it was.
I guess in the long term of life, I always wanted to create music in the studio, or write music that I was objectively I could look at and think, you know, I did something really good musically. I think Ebeling Hughes kind of informed my own abilities to harness all that crazy energy and all the boundaries.
How important it is, or how much it means when you guys, or any musician, gets in the studio and picks up the drum kit and picks up the sticks and starts to play, or gets to the keyboard. I mean, you're making something. So right. I think what you guys have going for you as Ebeling Hughes is that you know how to play. I mean, you're good at that. You know how to be in the studio all day and just crank stuff out and experiment. And then, like, you know, Chuck was saying, you'll experiment and take some samples and see, well, does this work with what we're doing here? And, you know, and it's just, I think you guys, it's like a perfect combination with the two of you.
You know, in 1993, there was not easy to just go out to Guitar Center and buy a $500 Pro Tools rig and be state-of-the-art.
Laptops, Pro Tools, a whole bit, little Cubase, all this crap that it's absolutely science fiction. It was unheard of.
Just self-producing, and we really explored recording. That was the whole basis of the existence of the band, was the exploration of recording.
A 4-track was a huge deal. That was like, oh my God, he was like, 4-track recorder, you know, it was like, we're the Beatles, man, we're there, dude, we can do this. It's like, we're gonna be millionaires, we got a 4-track.
Like you know, we were Star Wars kids, and every Star Wars kid imagines itself in the Millennium Falcon. And so our recording studio was like that to us. It was our lab.
Ebeling comes over, or I go over here, so he buys a bunch of gear, and I buy a bunch of gear, and we had our own studio. It's not like, see, we did it completely backwards, but that's what it was. We were building an instrument. The studio was our instrument, and the racks of effects and stuff, those were like instruments. So we were building, it was like a laboratory. I'm getting paid, we would get paid, not a lot, but a little bit, you know, to go play really loud on somebody else's giant sound system. It was like this, you know, it was a joke. It's like, of course, it's the greatest thing ever.
Kind of selfish. We were definitely a selfish band.
It was so selfish. I mean, I'm telling you flat out, it was strictly, I wanted good music to listen to. That was it, and I couldn't find it.
For self-preservation, we had to turn it into an exploration for ourselves. Detroit was very good to us, and just kind of accepting. I could throw out enough structure, and Chuck could throw out enough texture that some of these shows were amazing. Like, we knew too when we'd perform them. Like, as soon as we were done, we always would confirm with each other. Some of them were like, "Oh, that was so amazing! Like, we did it! Like, we brought the balance. We achieved the balance tonight, and it was amazing." And we tried to tape a lot of our shows, whether it was a cassette or having some friends come with some microphones or setting them up ourselves or having somebody videotape it. We were actually trying to confirm with ourselves, like, was that as cool as we felt like it was?
Ebeling Hughes has 2 records. First album is called Little Bugs Glow. That was on Rust Belt Records. And the second album was called Transfigured Night on 0 Hour Records. Mm-hmm. Okay. Are you guys working on a new record now? Or?
Yeah.
Because Transfigured Night came out in September 1998, and we released that. We did 8 weeks of touring around the U.S., and when we came off that tour, we pretty much had more feedback to deal with than ever before, as far as getting reviews in national magazines, playing out in almost every city in the U.S., talking to people, and dealing with our own heads.
Just pouring it out. A lot of energy, capturing the energy. Chuck sings about vibrations. Everything musical and everything in the whole universe is vibrations. And we were honing the energy. We were finding ways to capture the energy, manipulate the energy.
But no, we didn't have any breakthrough. We didn't tear down the walls of injustice or, you know, help the poor or anything like that. It was just, you know, flat out young energy with a lot of like mystical fascinations with, you know, legends. And we thought we were like in Wizards or something like that. You know, we wanted to uncover the secrets, you know, of Zeppelin. You know, I thought seriously thought they were from, you know, a cave, and they had magic wands or something like that. So primarily it was just a search and discover mission. It was just, how did they make that record? You know, of course, well, I wasn't satisfied enough with, you know, Zeppelin. I mean, it wasn't, I loved it, but it wasn't, why wasn't it enough? I don't know. I needed more. We had it all mapped out. It was awesome, and you know, that would have been fun. You know, I guess they still don't have a space station on the moon now yet. So.
That was kind of part of what Chuck and I had discussed early on. Was we always liked certain parts of a symphony. Like we'd listen to a whole symphony and there'd be that one 5-second moment where a chord had changed. So we were after trying to do that, like trying to build things into an amazing moment that transcended. We were always talking about transcendence and this made-up word, Evershades. The Evershades, that was like our concept for a while. Evershades was like that moment where everything just united, and it was like you achieved nirvana for 5 or 10 seconds.
Hey, guess what, Bob?
Hey, Ken.
The battery's gonna run out in 5 seconds.
Fellas, Chuck, Bob, thank you for coming out and talking to us today.
Thank you.
It's been an immense pleasure.
Definitely.
Thank you. You guys are great. We're huge fans. We're so proud of you guys, man. Ebeling Hughes, you guys rock. You guys are good.